Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. You ever meet somebody and everything inside of you just goes, this is different. I ain't talking about butterflies. I'm talking about confirmation, something real, something solid, something that don't fade when times get tough. You know what separates the ones who say they love you from the ones who actually do? It's not the fancy words or the good morning texts. It's not the I miss you messages or the Instagram captions. Nah, it's consistency. It's how they treat you when it ain't convenient, when life ain't sweet, when the weather's rough, when the shine is gone and all is left is real life. That's when the truth shows up. That's when you see who's for you and who's just around for the good time. Let me tell you something. Anybody can be sweet when things are smooth. Anybody can pretend they're present when the sun is shining, but the one who's really down for you, they're going to show up in the storm when you're at your lowest, when your hair ain't done, your spirit ain't high, and your patience is gone. That's the moment where real love steps in and says, I'm still here. They don't just check in when they feel like it. They make it a point to make sure you know they're there, consistently, faithfully, no matter the season. Consistency ain't just about being around. It's about being reliable. It's about doing what you said you were going to do, even when you don't feel like it. It's showing up to the hard conversations. It's texting back when they're tired. It's remembering the little things you said in passing and making them feel important. It's the small, boring, everyday actions that build trust. You hear me? Not the drama, not the theatrics, not the fireworks, but the steady flame that never goes out. When somebody is consistent with you, you stop doubting, you stop questioning, you stop needing reassurance every 5 minutes because their actions say everything their words don't have to. That's the kind of love that don't rattle easily. That's the kind of person who chooses you on their worst days, not just their best ones. And when you're the one, baby, they'll make sure you feel that choice again and again and again. They don't disappear when things get hard. They don't pull back every time you express a need. They don't use silence as punishment. They don't leave you hanging while they figure themselves out. No, they figure themselves out with you because they respect you enough to be present even when they're struggling, even when it costs them time, energy, or comfort. That's what love looks like. That's what being the one looks like. See, real consistency is intentional. It's not accidental. When someone truly sees you as the one, they make a conscious decision to prioritize you. Not when it's easy, but especially when it's not. They don't flake on plans. They don't treat your time like an option. They don't show up only when they need something. You ain't just a convenience. You a commitment. And a person who moves with consistency is telling you loud and clear, you matter. I got you. I'm here. They don't leave you wondering where they stand or how they feel. They don't make you beg for clarity or chase them for time. You don't have to overthink every word they say. You don't need to analyze texts like they're riddles, because real love, consistent love, is peaceful, it's dependable, it's strong, and when you're the one, they don't let you go to bed wondering if you still are. So if you got somebody in your life who shows up even when they're tired, who calls you back even when they're busy, who keeps their word even when life pulls them in different directions, don't overlook that. Don't take that lightly. That's not just good behavior. That's rare. That's precious. That's the kind of consistency that don't come from convenience. That comes from conviction. And when someone shows you that kind of steady love, understand this. You ain't just someone, you're the one. Let me break something down for you today, and I want you to hear me real clear. When somebody loves you, I mean genuinely, deeply, seriously loves you, they don't just say it, they show it in how they protect you. And I ain't just talking about standing in front of a bullet or squaring up with somebody in the street. I'm talking about the real kind of protection, the kind that covers your emotions, your mental peace, your spirit, your body, and your dignity. See, when you're the one, that person steps into your life with intentions, not just attraction. They start thinking beyond what they can get from you and start focusing on how they can care for you. And real care shows up in the way they shield you from stress, from pain, from unnecessary drama. They become the kind of person who listens for what you're not saying, who pays attention when your energy shifts, who leans in and says what's wrong instead of ignoring the signs. And somebody truly loves you, your peace becomes their mission. If they know certain words, certain habits, or certain behaviors disturb your spirit, they do everything in their power to stay away from that. They don't weaponize your past. They don't joke about your insecurities. They don't trigger your trauma just to win an argument. No, they move like a protector, not a predator. They handle your heart gently because they know it's been through some things. They respect your mind because they see the brilliance and the battle in it. And they look after your body because they want to see you thrive. You see, when you're the one, you don't have to beg somebody to treat you right. You don't have to convince them to care about how their actions affect you. They just do, because their love is active. It's not passive. It's not performative. They check in on you when you've gone quiet. They defend you even when you're not in the room. They cover you when life starts throwing punches. That's not just love, that's partnership. And let's be honest, in today's world where so many people only care about themselves, finding someone who's emotionally protective is rare. I'm talking about that person who says, hey, you're doing too much. Slow down and rest. Someone who tells you, you don't have to prove anything to me. Just be you. Someone who senses when you're overwhelmed and steps in to take the load without you even having to ask. That's what it looks like when someone's heart is invested in your well-being. They don't make fun of your dreams. They don't downplay your feelings. They don't manipulate you to keep control. If they know you have anxiety, they don't laugh at it. They learn how to walk with you through it. If they know you're healing, they don't rush your process. They stand beside you while you become whole. That's protection. That's love. That's being the one. And let me not forget, physical protection is still important too. That person ain't gonna let nobody disrespect you in public or private. They don't let others talk slick about you. They stand up for you and they stand with you. Even when it's inconvenient, even when they gotta check their own family or friends, they let the world know you mess with them, you mess with me. That's what loyalty looks like when it walks into the room. When someone sees you as the one, they don't just love the way you look, they love the way you feel when you're around them. Safe, calm, centered, confident. They don't exhaust you, they replenish you. They don't break you down to build themselves up. They lift you when you can't stand. They're a refuge, not a battlefield. They bring you peace, not pain. They fight for your joy, not just their ego. And all of that, my friend, is the proof you need. When they protect you in ways no one else ever has, that's when you know you're not just somebody, you're the one. You want to know how you can tell when somebody sees you as the one? Is when they stop hiding. It's when the walls come down. It's when that tough exterior starts to crack and you finally see what's real underneath. That's called vulnerability. That's honesty. And it's one of the strongest signs of true love a person can show you. Not everybody is willing to be open. Not everybody can stand naked, not just physically, but emotionally, without fear. So when somebody lets you in, really in, that ain't just special, that's sacred. See, most folks walk around wearing a mask, smiling when they sad, acting like they're confident when they're actually scared, showing strength when they're breaking inside. Why? Because they've been hurt. Because they've been betrayed, because they learned somewhere along the way that being real costs too much. So what do? They hide, they perform, they pretend. But when you're the one, that person don't feel like they need to hide no more. When somebody opens up to you, they're saying, I trust you. And trust is deeper than love. You can love somebody and still not trust them with your truth. But when someone trusts you enough to share the things they don't share with anybody else, their fears, their past mistakes, their shame, their dreams, that's a whole other level. They're not just giving you time, they're giving you access. They're showing you the parts of themselves that never see the light of day, and that takes courage. People always think vulnerability is weakness, but let me tell you, it's the exact opposite. It's strength. It's powerful. It's saying, here I am, flaws and all. Here's the real me. I don't need to impress you. I just want you to see me. And when someone gets to that point with you, when they stop performing and start being real, it means they're not afraid of losing you anymore. They'd rather be authentic than perfect. They'd rather risk rejection than keep wearing a mask. Because to them, you're worth that risk. You see it in the way they start to tell you things they swore they'd never say out loud. You hear it in the way their voice softens when they talk about their childhood. You feel it in the way they hesitate before opening up because they're still not sure if they're safe, but they do it anyway. That's when you know. That's when everything changes. That's when it stops being surface level and starts being soul deep. And honesty goes hand in hand with vulnerability. When you're the one, they don't lie to protect your feelings. They don't hide things to avoid conflict. They don't sugarcoat the truth because they think you can't handle it. They respect you enough to be real, and even if that truth is uncomfortable, even if it stings, you know it's coming from a place of love, because honesty is not about hurting you, it's about honoring you. When someone's honest with you, they're building a foundation. They're saying, let's build something real, not something fake that'll fall apart the first time life tests it. That's how strong relationships are built. Not on fantasy, but on true. Not on pretending everything's perfect, but on embracing the imperfections together. And when you're the one, they stop playing games. They stop hiding phone. They stop giving half answers. They bring it all to the table and say, this is me, take it or leave it. There's a kind of peace that comes when you're with someone who's emotionally available. You're not guessing. You're not confused. You're not spending every night wondering where you stand, because they've told you, they've shown you, they've made it clear that they trust you with their scars and their story. And let me tell you something. When someone gives you that kind of truth, that kind of heart, that kind of realness, they're not just letting you in, they're telling you, without even saying it, You're the one. You want to know one of the clearest signs that you're the one? Is when someone starts talking about the future and you're not just in it, you're woven into every part of it. I'm talking about real vision, not just daydreams, not just pillow talk at 2 a.m. when emotions are running high. I mean the kind of plans that involve action, structure, timing, and your presence every step of the way. When someone sees you as part of their future, they don't keep you guessing. They bring you right into the middle of that vision. Now listen, people plan for what they value. They make room for what matters. They don't just think about next weekend or their next meal. They're thinking 5 years from now, 10 years from now, who's going to be standing beside them when life gets real? And when someone starts planning out their life and you're in those plans, that's not just romance, that's commitment. That's confirmation that you're not temporary. That's them saying, I don't just like having you around now. I want you around for the long haul. You'll hear it in the little things first. The we instead of me. The way they talk about holidays, trips, careers, even retirement. You'll hear your name in places it never showed up before. We should buy a house like that. You love this city if we ever move. If I get that promotion, we could finally take that trip. That's not small talk. That's the sound of someone putting roots down in you. That's someone building with you, not just beside you. And they don't just talk about it, they act on it. They introduce you to their people because they want you to be part of their world. They talk to you before making big decisions. They ask your opinion not because they need permission, but because your input matters to them. They treat your goals like shared goals, your struggles like shared struggles. That's what real partnership looks like. That's how you know you're not a guest in their life. You are a resident. You belong there. Some people want you for a season, but when you're the one, they want you for every season. They want to grow old with you. They want to celebrate with you and cry with you. They want to figure life out together, not alone. They stop making plans that exclude you because life without you no longer makes sense. That's real love. That's a different kind of connection. That's the kind of thing you don't have to chase or beg for. It shows itself. Now, don't get it twisted. Planning a future with someone doesn't mean it's all going to go perfectly. Life will throw curveballs. Circumstances will change. But when someone truly sees you as the one, they adapt with you, not around you. They adjust, they rework the plan, but you're still in it. You're never the part they consider removing. You're the reason they're still chasing the vision to begin with. And you know what else happens when someone includes you in their future? They become more responsible. They start thinking smarter, loving deeper, and moving wiser. Because now it ain't just about them, it's about you too. They start saving more, spending better, working harder. That's the impact of love with intention. That's what happens when someone sees you as a permanent part of their journey. They stop playing, they start building, and you feel it in how they talk and how they plan and how they carry themselves. They start asking themselves, what kind of life am I building? And is it one that honors this person who's walking with me? When someone gets to that level with you, baby, understand this. You ain't just some chapter in their book. You are the story. And it's not just about words. It's about consistency, loyalty, and the willingness to grow with you. They're dreaming with you, deciding with you, working toward a life where your name is written in every corner. That's not just being in love. That's knowing you found the one. And when they start living like their future doesn't look right unless you're in it, believe me when I say it, That means